Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, this morning I continue to make this video on the topic of religion and belief. I always think what I'm doing is very important to me because the value is I'm preaching myself to a true religion of Islam. Yes, it's a true religion of Islam. Other religion false, I have no doubt. Other religion that Islam is false because Islam is brought by the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and there is a book, Koran. So it's written and is unchanged since it was revealed. No one can change the Quran. There are attempts to change the Quran. It's all met with failure. Why? Because Muslims memorize the Quran. I'm old, but I memorize the Quran. I memorize first page, second page. Now I'm on the progress of memorizing third page, and I will go on memorizing as many pages as I can in my remaining life, and I believe I'll continue doing that in my grave. So when I die and I put in the grave, and then when people already left the area where I was buried, then Allah make me a room and give me a Quran to read, and my work of memorizing will be go on even I'm in the grave. You may not believe it. It's very difficult for you to believe it, because I believe it because Prophet Muhammad SAW has said that people who read the Quran every day will be asking for Quran when they die, and they were put in the grave, and they look for the Quran to read, because it's the habit they have in this world. So Allah with His grace also wants me to continue reading the Quran even after I die, because it had been my habit doing it in this world. So in my life of grave life in the grave, well, you will not know it what you see below the ground. So I believe below the ground you don't know. Then Allah will make a room for me, and then maybe give me a table and a chair and a Quran to read. So this what the Prophet had been saying, that if you read the Quran in this world, you keep making it a habit. Your habit of reading the Quran will continue on even after you die. Meaning, if you are in the grave, you will continue reading the Quran. So, of course, when you read the Quran, no one punish you, no one disturb you, and you also enjoy the life there in the grave. It's a blessing from your Creator. So if your Creator can create the world, the earth, the heaven, all the birds, things like that, the vegetation, it is not difficult for Allah to create a situation in the grave that you are reading the Quran that you had been reading on earth, then you also be reading when you are in the grave. Of course, when you dig up the grave, you don't see it. You don't see it, but it's there because it's kept hidden. But it is known that people reading the Quran in the grave, or even some people may listen, people reading the Quran in the grave. If you are lucky enough to able to hear it, is all from the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So take the opportunity to read the Quran on this earth, so that you will also be reading the Quran when you are below the ground. It's not from me saying, but it's from the Prophet saying that people who are in the grave reading the Quran, and people in the grave have room that is big. So just people in the grave having room that is big. You heard of this saying? So why the room is make big in the Quran is sure to do some activity like reading the Quran, and will be until the end of the world. So what I read about what's happening in the grave, some people will undergo punishment in the grave. So some people are not punished in the grave. So when they are not punished, so they will either sleep or having this activity of reading the Koran, or they just roam about on earth, walking around on earth, being set free, because in the Quran there's a revelation, don't you think they die. So in the Quran saying that people buried in the grave, don't you ever think they die. They live and they are given provision, meaning that they are given provision, they are given food and live like we live in this world, but they are specially treated because they are no longer to need to work. They are given provision. That is what I read in the Quran, that don't you think they live, they die. They only die for few minutes or so and then live again. Of course, that is people who have been given a good favor by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, I think I have enough of preaching of myself, of the power of Allah, the power of our Creator, what they do, what Allah can do. A person is buried, so on some cases, don't you think they die, meaning they die only for certain time, only few seconds, maybe minutes, and then they put back to life, that you cannot see, only Allah, and maybe if Allah lives, only Allah can see, or maybe angel as well, if Allah wants angel to see, but it's Allah is all knowing, all seeing. So our knowledge is limited. Okay, that is not a preaching of myself, of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what He can do that we cannot see. Okay, now let's talk about what is going on in this world. Let's choose a country. So I like to choose a country called Finland. Do you know where Finland is? Finland is north of Europe. In the west is Europe, maybe Germany, Holland, what else other country on the east of Finland, but on the west is Europe. And the east, it share border with Russia. So Russia is in the east and on the west of Finland is Western Europe, maybe Germany, maybe Holland, or what else is on the east? Maybe in the south is Romania, Bulgaria, what else? Hungary. So being sharing border with Russia, so Russia at one time they had been very aggressive, and they like to attack other country. So Finland was not spared from the Russian attack. At one time, I remember the Finland, or the Finnish, or they call their people the Finn. They were defending the attack from Russia. Russia being the aggressor. Of course, Russia was at one time, still is powerful with big population, and they also have this policy of expansion, and that's why you see that Russia is a big country, because they like to expand their territory. On the east side, the occupied land, they were once belonged to Japan, and on the east, I think after Soviet Union, many of the country annexed by Russia got independent. Ukraine was one. Ukraine was under Soviet Union before. What else? Maybe other country that I don't know. But Finland, I never been under Soviet Union. They were resisting the attack, the Finn. So why Finland is of interest? So Finland is a country, and there are also people there. I think I remember the mobile telephone. They're also famous for manufacturing mobile telephone. I believe some of the mobile telephone that I used before was made by electronic engineers from Finland. When I was working in the oil company, I also deal with product from Finland. Yes, I remember the company had bought some product from Finland. So this Finland can manufacture goods of quality. So they really look after quality. So they have weapon. Why it is of interest to me? Because I heard they are buying a jet fighter, F-35, in big number. I think the number is about nearly 70 70 pieces of F-35. So they become the biggest owner of F-35 after US. So you see, F-35 used to be expensive when it first come, but now the price of F-35 is going down and its popularity grows. Many countries now buy F-35. Why? It has been proven that F-35 destroy the missiles, S-400 missiles in Syria, and they are also able to penetrate the missile area in Iran, where the Iranian didn't know that F-35 is coming to bomb their missile spots. So the F-35 is now in the limelight as one of the best jet fighter that money can buy. Why? It's because it's stealth technology and it is painted with radar absorbent material, so it's disperse the signal of radar when it hit the surface of F-35. It disperse the signal and it cause radar signal coming back to be blurred because of dispersing effect of the paint on F-35. So it's also to do with its shape. So the advantage of stealth is now being proven, because if F-35 is countering, say, Rafale aircraft, which is not stealth, so if they go head on, F-35 will see Rafale coming, but Rafale will not be able to see F-35 coming in the radar. At long distance, of course, but as they come near, the Rafale can see, but at long distance, beyond, they call beyond visual range, F-35 has an advantage in dogfight. So what F-35 can do is it shoot the missile first. So the missile will fly, and then what F-35 will do, turn back and go away. Let the missile do the job first and see. So if the missile hit, that means F-35 win the air battle between this jet plane, Rafale, and F-35. And Russia is aware of this advantage of having F-35. What is other thing special of F-35 is the communication link between one F-35 to another. So if one F-35 is going ahead in front, the F-35 that is behind will just switch to the radar of the forward F-35, so he can see what the forward F-35 can see, so the F-35 that is behind can see each one radar by just switching on, so they see what they. So if you see say a Rafale coming, so he's become aware that, so the F-35 that is behind is also aware by seeing the radar display of the forward F-35. So what are the things that F-35 is? F-35 pilot can see through. If he just look down, he can see what is happening below. There is no wall of F-35 blocking his vision, because there is camera put outside the F-35, and this camera is linked to the helmet. So if he turn his helmet right, so the vision he see on the helmet is the vision of what he intend to see. So if he look down, the camera will took the picture or the video down. If he looks side, F-35 camera will focus on the side, things like that. So it is a technology that no other aircraft is having except F-35 at the moment. So when Finland buying a big number of F-35, then Russia is concerned. So look like Finland is making the right choice of buying the F-35 in big number, cost them 10 billion US dollars. So to me it's a value, because it has become a deterrent as well for Russia of if they try to be aggressive. We don't know if they're trying to be aggressive with Finland in the future. It's possible. Then they have to think twice, as their enemy have this jet fighter that is powerful and may beat them in a war. Or it could be they can carry bombs that threaten the cities in Russia because of its stealth technology. Okay, that's enough of me talking about the country called Finland. Let me now read the Koran. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's now read the Quran. Let's see what page we are. We should be reading page 164 this morning. To get the barakah of this morning, let me read the first sentence in Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. حقيق على ألا أقول على الله إلا الحق قد جئتكم ببينة من ربكم فأرسل معي بني إسرائيل. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's read through the meaning of the sentences in the Quran of this page. It is compulsory on me not to say anything on Allah except things that are truth. Verily, I come to you with bringing the evidence that is clear from your God. Then release the tribe of Israel with you, and the Pharaoh answered, if it's true that you bring evidence, then show it. If you are the people of the truth. Then Moses threw the staff. So what is staff? I have stuff here. Let me show you my stuff. So this is the stuff. See, stuff. So Moses also have stuff. Then Moses threw the staff. Then the staff turned into snake that is clear. Then he took out his hand. Then his hand became white, shining for people to see it. Then the VIP of the leader of the tribe of Pharaoh said, this man is really good in magic. He who like to chase you out from your country. Then Pharaoh said, what is your suggestion then? Then the leader said, ask him to stop for a while. Then we go out in the city to gather all the magicians we had in the city, so that they will bring their magic their skill in magic to you. Then the expert in magic come to Pharaoh. They say, will we get the reward if we win? We win against Moses. Pharaoh said, yes, you will become people who are near to me. So not only they get reward, they become the people who are near to Pharaoh. Then this magician say, oh Moses, then you will be the first to throw what before we throw, meaning Moses will first throw his staff and know that will turn into snake, and later this magician will throw something that will also be turned into snake maybe. Let's see what happens. Then Moses say, you throw first, then after you throw, after he throw, then they make it into a magic, so the eyes of the people become frightened, seeing what actually they saw. So maybe what is frightening when the magician threw it was turned into snakes, which scared the people around. Then we send revelation to Moses. Then you throw your staff. Then Moses' staff turned into snakes that ate the snake of the magician, the false snake of the magician. Then it's become clear of the truth and what this magician had been doing had been useless. Then they were beaten in the place, and they become people who got dishonor. Then this magician then dropped down to prostrate. They straight away prostrate to Allah because they believe the truth in what Prophet Moses is not magic as what they had thought earlier. So this magician knew that it comes from Allah, and they prostrate. They became the believers. Okay, that's quite interesting story in the Quran this morning. So with that, I complete reading the last sentence on this page. So now let's take the Gospel of Barnabas and read the Gospel of Barnabas. Okay, let's now read the Gospel of Barnabas. Let's see what. See the marking. Yeah, okay, let's see which they have it. Okay. So this morning we should be reading chapter 156. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When he had made the midday prayer, Jesus, as he went out of the temple, found one blind from his mother's womb. His disciple asked him, saying, Master, who sinned in this man, his father or his mother, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither his father nor his mother sinned in him, but God created him so for testimony of the gospel. And having called the blind man up, he spat on the ground and made a clay and placed it upon the eyes of the blind man, and said to him, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash thee. The blind man went, and having washed, received light. Whereupon he returned home. Many who met him said, If this man were blind, I would say for certain that it was he who had worn to sit in the beautiful gate of the temple. Others say, If he, but how that he received light? And they accosted him, saying, Art thou the blind man that who once sit at the beautiful gate of the temple? The answer, I am. And wherefore? They said, Now didn't you receive thy sight? He answered, A man made clay, spitting on the ground, and this clay placed upon mine eyes, and said to me, Go and wash thee in the pool of Siloam. And I went and washed, and now I see. Blessed be the God of Israel. When the man born blind was come again to the beautiful gate of the temple, all Jerusalem was filled with matter. Wherefore he brought into the chief of priests, who was conferring with the priests and the Pharisees against Jesus. The priests asked him, saying, Man, wast thou born blind? Yes. He replied, Now give glory of God, said the high priest, and tell us what prophet had appeared to thee to dream and given thy light. Was our father Abraham, Moses, the servant of God, or some other prophet? For others could not such a thing. The man born blind said, Neither Abraham nor Moses nor the prophet I have seen in a dream even healed by him. But as I sat at the gate of the temple, a man made me come near to him, and having made a clay of earth with his spittle, put some of the clay upon mine eyes, and sent me to the pool of Siloam to wash, whereupon I went and washed me, and returned with light of mine eyes. The high priest asked him the name of that man. The man Barnabas answered, he told me his name. But the man who saw him called me and said, go and wash thee, as that man has said, he is Jesus of Nazarene, a prophet and the Holy One, God of Israel. Then said the high priest, did he heal the perchance today that is the Sabbath? The man answered, today he healed me. Said the high priest, behold now how that this fellow is sinner, seeing he keep not the Sabbath. Okay, that is a miracle of man born blind. By the miracle and power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the blind man was able to see light again and no longer been blind. He restored his full sight. Alhamdulillah. Okay, with that, brothers and sisters, I complete my video this morning. Thank you very much for listening.